Well, Whisperer saying easy fold, like live players ever find bluffs. You'd be surprised what you see. It really depends on the players. In this case, I don't see much alcohol on the table, which often contributes to some early bluffs as well. But I did play in one side event. I played it in on Tuesday night in the Turbo, and that was fun. And let's just say that bluffing was quite common by me and my opponents. And we had to settle for a min cash. Not the end of the world. Gadamino, this is not a freeze out. So players can not only re-enter, but they can re-enter all day today. They can re-enter on day 1A, day 1B, and even tomorrow they can re-enter. But hold on a second. I'll explain that in a minute. We have a hand here. This is very interesting. We have Ace-King raising to 1,000, but Badir waking up with the ladies. Opts to call. No 3-bet there. Let's see if anybody else comes into the mix. It opens up. Oh, my God, and now we have jacks. We're certainly going to see fireworks now, especially with the AK sack. I just don't see how that all doesn't go in here. There's 2.6K in the pot. The question is now what's going to happen, though. This could be a case where we see a three-way all-in. We see all-in for AK. Now is Matthias going to go all-in as well? Is he going to try to isolate, thinking Badir doesn't? I mean, how often does Badir show up with queens flatting one seat over? It would not be surprising to see him come in over the top. But either way, this is the biggest hand so far on the stream. And certainly one that we might see both players thinking about before they commit their chips. We do see just a call, and what is Badir going to do? Is he going to call, or is he going to just put it in now and want to go heads up with his queens? Not knowing that he might get called by his opponent as well. He is going all in, folks. 29,400. Now it's decision time. And it looks like there must have been a call because cards are being turned over. And did the Ace-King call as well? Here it comes. Yes, he did. So Badir, 50-50 to double up and then some. Andres needs a lot of help. He needs a jacker or something. Oh, no, a king on the flop. Both players in trouble. We could have two eliminations right here, right now. 10 of diamonds does not help anyone, does not give either player draws. 2 outs for each player. The 7 of clubs on the river. Good game. Andreas, Badir, will likely see them both back in the tournament. But if not, that hand played itself. Not much you can do with jacks there, sitting on about 20 big blinds the way that played out. You can never blame Badir for getting it in with queens there. And meanwhile, we have Matthias de Mulders, one of the biggest names around in the tournament from Belgium. 94,200, more than triple the starting stack. Life is good. There were a couple events that are already running. The Summer Showdown 550 Deep Stack is day 2 is at 9 o'clock, and starting at the same time is the 440 5-card PLO Progressive PKO. And for short deck lovers, there'll be a fun 115 Hyper 6 Max with 10-minute blinds at 11 p.m. All in by Maria. Oh no. We might not see Maria here very long. Anton flatting with the big slick. Maria still has some hope, but it's not looking very good. So the stream will go until the end of level 8. It's only 8 levels today. Tomorrow will be a bit longer. We're going to start at around the same time tomorrow. We have a command for that as well. But let's look at this hand at the same time. Ooh, flush draw for Maria. Let's see. I can't publicly root for you, Maria, but go Maria. Oh, now it's a diamond, and only a diamond that can save Maria. Anton pairing up his king. And it showers for Maria. Queen of clubs. Always smiles, Maria. You know she's a little frustrated, but she's always happy and smiling at the same time. And we may see Maria back in. I'm not sure we'll see her back on the TV table today, but we'll maybe see her back in the main event. There's still plenty of time on day 1A, day 1B. And once again, you can late register and re-enter up until the end of the first blind level, level 9, on day 2. Jesse, today is a shorter day. We started at level 5. There's going to be 8 levels today. So we're going to be on, there's going to be a break fairly soon, and then we'll be on for 2 more hours, and then we're going to call it a night. It's not going to necessarily be a night for the players. There's plenty of side events still to happen. There's also Day 1B, which is a turbocharged affair. When I say turbo, it's not a turbo, though. It's 30-minute blinds. I mean, that's a better structure than just about anything I'm playing, and 30-minute blinds is just because they call it a turbo, because what we're watching here is hour-long blinds. So today's a shorter day. I wish I could entertain you guys more. But the good news is I'll be back tomorrow around the same time, and that is going to be a longer day because they're going to play it down as far as they can go, so we're not stuck with a marathon on Sunday. On Saturday. Saturday will be the final day. The plan as of right now is to stream that from start to finish, subject to change. Certainly the final table will be streamed, and we're looking forward to amazing action on those days. Algirdas with the snowman. It's not a question of whether he's going to raise, it's a question of how much, and it looks like about 1,100. Or exactly 1,100. Alexandros folds his ace-8, but Casper waking up with the big slick. This could be interesting. Casper is here very often from Finland. I do not know enough about his game other than what we've been watching here to make any comments about that, but certainly not too much of a surprise to see him with the ace-king. Algirdas 4-bet jams for 21K. Quick call by Casper. Algirdas either doubling up to a nice stack or out of business. Meanwhile, Casper will be below starting stack if he loses his hand, or have more than double a starting stack. A club out of the window. 2 clubs out of the window. Algirdas can't be too happy about that. He has to be sweating a little bit. Still a coin flip, but now he's behind. That is a good turn card for Algirdas. His snowman still leading the way. 10 on the river. Algirdas doubles up. We would likely see Algirdas back in the tournament if it didn't work out his way. But he's got to be a little bit happy there. Wins the coin flip. You don't want to be losing the coin flips for your tournament life, even when you can re-enter. Nobody really wants to re-enter unless they have to. Although I've heard a few players come up with a plan about how many times they plan to re-enter. But I think that's also kind of a mental thing. You know what? I could be a bit more aggressive if I okay re-entering. Yeah, that is. Meanwhile, De Mulder is once again on top. The man, the myth, the legend from Belgium. A few Belgian players actually made their way out here. It's nice to see. Usually we see some players from France and sometimes from Germany or Switzerland. But Belgium, not usually. So I'm hoping they have a good time. Spread the word out to their fellow countrymates. But let's get into the hand. Yana raising with Jackson. This is going to be something, I believe. We have Faraz with the 10s once he hit over. They have played together before. Once again, Yana is playing just about every main event this year. As long as she's in town, she does travel quite a lot. Faraz is coming in from Finland quite often. I've seen him in not only just the main event, but it seems like every time you turn around, Faraz is in an event. Does opt to just flat this time. No, he 3-bets. 3-bets his 10s. That could work out to his benefit because I don't see him necessarily calling a 4-bet by Yana, but you never know. Yana's doing similar things with maybe 9s and ace-king, but I don't see her flatting here either. But I suppose with the stack depths, that's possible too. Very often when you get it in with jacks and you get called, you're ahead, but very often you're behind or flipping as well. So it depends on how much she's valuing this particular bullet, how risk-averse she's being, or how badly she wants to double up. So she's playing it low risk. She's making the call. has the options to change her mind on the flop, but this is where Faraz will have a chance to steal it if we see cards higher than a jack. Oh my! Faraz flopping a set. This could be a curtain call for Yana, depending on what happens here, because Yana has an overpair. She's never going to put Faraz on a set. Faraz is 3-betting not only wide now, but he was doing, he's a very strong finish player. Let's see what Faraz opts to do. I mean, he's continuing in everything else, so I believe he's going to continue even with his top set. He's going to not play it sneaky and slow, but he is going to show a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of Hollywooding there, although maybe thinking about his sizing. And it's a small sizing, 2100. Now, Yana's never folding here, but is she going to call or raise? She is just going to call, which may save her tournament, because a raise there would have been painful for her. Of course, a jack can come on the turn of the river, but it's a 9 on the turn. Does not help Yana at all, does not give her any more outs, but really nothing would have, other than a jack to give her a set. And another check by Yana. So the passive play by Yana might actually be saving her here. I mean, Faraz is certainly going to bet again. Is he going to bet big or small? And what happens if he bets big? Reaching for those 1,000 chips, not reaching for the big boys, so let's see. Maybe it's going to be on the smaller side. It looks like about half the pot, though, so not so small, not so big, about 5,500, unless he announced differently. 5.5K. Now, very often here, I mean, Yana, it's going to be hard for her to give up on the hand. I don't see that happening unless she's psychic. And although I've spoken to Yana at length before, there have been no conversations about her being psychic coming up before, but she may have a read. But very often, jacks are good here. This would be an amazing fold if she can make it. I don't know how she can make it. Nope, it looks like... she's looking at her cards again. It looks like she was reading... She makes the fold! Wow. So Yana making the correct fold with the jacks, and Faraz, I think, telling her, this time I gotcha. But some of them will inevitably bust out, so I don't have to think of any particular person. And certainly for the final table, I will have a little bit of company here and there. And I know Brandon Allen will be in the house tomorrow, too, so I'm going to try to sneak him into the booth. He's going to be playing the Deep Stack tournament on the schedule tomorrow. I should look up the buy-in on that. But he said it is the biggest live event he has played. We spoke earlier, 220 buy-in. Those of you that have tuned in to other streams here at Olympic Park Casino are familiar with Brandon. He's a super good guy. I also love hearing him on commentating, but I love also commentating with him. Christian Loss is another one, but he won't be making it up. I love commentating with him. He's an amazing person and a great commentator. Casper all in with jacks, found the right spot here. It looks so much like a squeeze, and players showing up with hands. Anton's going to have to fold the sixes. Oh my, that was before what I saw Yana woke up with. Yana waking up with the Cowboys. This is likely to be showers for Casper unless something strange happens, but we'll likely save Faraz and or Ilya some chips here. But it's very hard for Yana to do anything, but she is all in. Let's see if anybody else wakes up with anything. Nope. And Faraz, I think, has to lay down the ace-jack, but Faraz knows better than I do. Quickly does. The duck's in the muck as well. And everybody seems to be rooting for you, Yana. Or at least two people are rooting for you. If you're counting me Me as a person, maybe, yeah, I'm rooting for you. Me as a commentator, nope. I'm impartial, no bias. Casper also is a nice dude, so a bad beat wouldn't make me feel happy, but I'd be happy for Casper. But it looks like showers unless a jack comes on the river. And Yana taking it down with Cowboys, eliminating Casper. Casper has a chance to get in still for the last little bit today, but more likely if he's to re-enter, it'll be for day 1B or maybe even for day 2 tomorrow. Meanwhile, Yana, who's been quiet a good part of the day, wins 2 big pots, is up to 58,000, near double the starting stack. Well done, Yana. Anyone? They may leave it 8-handed for the time being as well. Just so you understand the logistics, in the casino itself is all cash games at the moment, except for the feature table. So the actual rest of the tournament is held on the first floor of the hotel. So during the breaks, if they're switching tables during the breaks, then the breaks will be a little bit longer to make sure not only can players get downstairs, get their instructions about how the feature table works, but also have the chance for a break. But also in between, you know, you have to remember it's not like a normal table switch. You know, players have to go up and down the stairs, blah, blah, blah. And depending on the time left on the clock, it might be better just to leave things be. It might be better for the integrity of the tournament, but it might not. You know, it's up to the tournament staff here is pretty much the same staff all the time. They know what they're doing, and we'll see what happens. So Algirdis' hand goes from dominating to Faraz's to leaving basically Faraz drawing to runner deuces, but Algirdis playing it slow, and maybe Faraz thinking there's some hope for his deuces. He's reaching for some chips. It's a bet of 3,000. Is Algirdis going to raise it? Or is he going to hope that like Faraz has like an 8 in his hand? And he does just call, hoping that a draw will help Faraz. Faraz maybe smells something. Oh my, improves to quads. So now Faraz may just try to buy it. He doesn't have showdown value anymore. He may just try to buy it here. Or he may be smelling that there's something up. It looks like somebody bumped into one of the cameras there. Guys, if you're walking behind the TV table, which you really shouldn't be there, be careful of the cameras. So Faraz opting to try to buy it. It's a 6K. Algirdis doing a little fun table talk. This is something he could do whether he has the hand or not. His table talk is actually pretty balanced as well. In this case, he's trying to get some value for when he raises his quads. But I can't see Faraz getting like fancy with the 3-bet, so it should end no matter what Algirdis raises here. Obviously, Faraz can't call with the nut low on that board. Guillermino, day 1B will not be streamed. We'll be back tomorrow around 5 p.m. It looks like you're from Lithuania on your screen name, so Vilnius time or Tallinn time for most of day 2, and then we should be here for the entire final day. So what's the raise sizing? It really doesn't matter. I don't see Faraz doing anything fancy. It's up to 19,000. Faraz may talk for a little posturing. He knows he has a nut low. We know he has the nut low. Everybody else might be thinking, well, is he thinking about what to do with an ace or an overpair? Or hoping that he has a 7. He shows the nut low too. Okay. Will Algirdis show the 5s? He doesn't look too happy. Show it, Algirdis. They're going to see it anyway soon enough. He does show it. Shows the quads. Poike. Excellent. Yeah, Savekas is a monster. I play with him quite a lot in the Vilnius casino, and then I see him on the road. We have an ongoing joke that we call each other fishes, but he's not a fish. I'm the fish.
Big stack. and that's gonna be really nice to see how he's gonna play with the big stack in DV table. So there's gonna be a lot of like repeats after that. So.
So on today's schedule, if you're nearby, the Friday Deep Stack already began. I believe you would have to get here pretty fast to late enter that one. That began at 3 o'clock with the 220 buy-in. It is a two-day event with 20-minute blinds. At 5 o'clock, though, one of my favorite events, the open-faced Chinese Pineapple, began with a 3:30 buy-in. That will still have late registration open, as well as the satellite to the Summer Showdown High Roller. But back to the action, because we have 10s versus jacks between the two Estonians. But Tarmo just flatting, not looking to get fancy against Mark, because Mark, maybe he respects Mark's early position raise at this stage. Maybe he doesn't want to go bust with jacks, because there's 100 ways to play jacks, and none of them are correct.
Yeah. But it's going to be so interesting.
And Johan with an ace as well, so I think he's at least calling, but no, he's folding.
Yeah.
Maybe he was thinking, I'll either 3-bet or fold.
Yeah. Because, Tarmo is not so aggressive right now, and it's like really interesting.
That's not the best flop for either player. Nobody can feel confident here now.
But
there is one overcard. Maybe Tarmo takes a stab at it with Mark checking after he was the initial aggressor, but does check back. He has a value hand. Doesn't want to bloat the pot. Another club, though. This is getting a little dicey for Tarmo's fish hooks. Now it's not just a 10 that would be disastrous for him, but it would also be any club. But he would be able to get away from the pot then, and he didn't invest that much, so disaster wouldn't be a club. But Mark thinking about what to do now. He does have the flush draw. It isn't like a super premium flush draw, but
it's flush draw.
It is a flush draw, and he did check the flop, and Tarmo, it's decision time for Tarmo here.
Yeah.
Does he buy into whether Mark has something here?
Yeah, it's like you're thinking, okay, why you like checking this flop? You have flush draw or king.
Oh, no. I mean, at least Tarmo will be able to get away cheaply. Because if he 3-bets pre, Mark might 4-bet and he might be out the door. So now he at least will have some chips. And
yeah.
I mean, the only thing that can go wrong is if Mark checks here, because then Tarmo might bet to try to represent the club.
No, I don't think that Tarmo wants to bet over here, but...
Because he may feel that he's actually behind, but with the other club, he could, if he can rep like an ace or a queen of clubs, which could be in his calling range from the hijack, but does check behind. And we'll get the bad news about the run out here, but it wasn't that costly for him. Still has more than 20 big blinds. Our hero can make a comeback. Tarmo is one of my favorite people here as well, so although I'm not supposed to have favorites, I do like Tarmo, I do like Mark, I like Aki a lot as a person as well. So there's a lot of people here. Johan is the most happy person I know when he won the Kings of Tallinn. Like, sometimes players win events. Top 35 players will walk home with at least a 2,100 min cash. And we may see the action change a little bit as we get closer and closer to the bubble. Because during the first hour of our stream, the short stacks were not afraid of getting involved. Kasper's opening up with the ace-9 suited for a min-raise. Aki waking up with the 4s. He has all 3 options available to him. It looks like he's going with just a call here. And Mark will likely come along either with a call or maybe even a 3-bet with the king 7 suited. Let's see what Mark is thinking here. Trumulus, there are 2 Latvians on the table. There's Kasper's, as you mentioned, and there's also, hold on a second, because Mark called, and we have a flop here, 10-5-5. Aki's actually ahead, but it's not really a flop you're looking for when you have 4s. Actually, there's not too many flops you're looking for when you have 4s. You want to see a 4. But that's why it's very difficult to play these small pocket pairs out of position if you plan on being sticky about a post flop. So The bet was small enough that Aki's going to come along with a call. And it looks like Mark had chips in his hand, but will give up on his hand at this point in time, not hitting any of the board with his King 7 suited. And the 5 of diamonds on the turn. Aki now improves to a full house, but Kaspers can still get a better full house if another card is dealt on the river. Aki checks again, and if Kaspers puts the pressure on him, it's going to be hard for Aki to call. But he does check back. And the king on the river does not help Kaspers. Let's see if he checks back. He does have some showdown value. He's not going to be chasing away any 10s or kings, but maybe a hand like 4s he can. Kaspers is thinking it through. We have seen Kaspers quite active during the first hour. He's a seasoned player that we see often here at Olympic Park Casino. I don't know that much about the playing style of Kaspers other than what we've seen so far today on the stream. And look who is joining us right when Aki is in a hand. The wonderful Emmy Utalainen, and I'm probably completely butchered your name because I have such hard time with the Finnish surnames, but welcome, Emmy. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me to join the stream.
We need to turn your volume up so nobody heard you there, but
Oh, okay.
we're hopping into a hand right now when Aki is thinking over what to do. So you could see the action right here.
Yeah.
There was a small bet on the flop. Aki's out of position. Then went check on the turn. Now Aki has the best hand with the full house, but
Yeah.
Kaspers is putting the pressure on, and Aki, I know, wants to make the money, but he also wants to make the right move. So let's see what he does here.
Hopefully he'll call. Yeah. I would have loved to see the. Oh my gosh.
He does make the call.
Yeah. Our team is doing good. Yeah, Aki is actually in my team, so yes.
That's right. So Emmy's actually here playing. She's sometimes a journalist, most of the time a player, but sometimes I see you here as a journalist as well. And Aki's Aki. We know Aki.
Yeah.
We know Aki is a very patient player, so I don't expect to see any wild
Yeah.
3-betting, at least until the money is reached, and then we will see if things open. But he's so experienced at these games, he knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's almost always making the money in the main events.
Yeah, Aki is he has played more than 25 years for his profession. So he has a really strong background.
Oh, I like that he has a shirt that says piecing on it.
Yeah, true. I haven't noticed that before.
So let's see what happened. Did Johan just call there with the Jack-10 suit? So Kristaps opens once again. This time his hand's a little bit better with the King-Queen suited, but he is under the gun. Johan has a nice hand to be in position with the Jack-10. It was a similar situation than we saw before. Decides not to get cute with back-to-back 3-bets. I think in other circumstances we may see him 3-bet there, but Johan mixes it up very nicely. Oh, king out of the window. Well, Johan, this isn't the flop Johan could do anything with, so
Yeah.
it's you know, he could just decide to float and steal it away on the turn, but that would turn out
Yeah.
very bad for him.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's a small bet, too. It's just like yelling at you, call me, and he does.
Okay.
So he is floating, and this is just because he's in position, and if it gets checked over to him, he's going to try to take it down either on the turn or the river. But now maybe that's
Well.
not the strategy because he does have a straight draw. Kristaps improving to top 2 pair. This could be fireworks depending on what the river is and what the action is here right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting.
I mean, I think Kristaps has to continue along because if he checks after betting the flop, and he does, now is Johan going to try to turn his draw into a bluff, make it look like a monster? It would turn out disastrous because Kristaps is never folding top 2 pair with his stack depth, and does just make the call, which is the most conservative decision at this point. Oh my!
Oh my gosh!
This could
This
be
is gonna
showers.
be, yeah.
I mean, it may help that it's an ace rather than, let's say, a sneaky little 9.
Yeah, yeah.
But how are you ever going to put a player on 10 jack that called the flop that was king for deuce?
Never. Like, maybe once in a million or something like that.
And 27,000, so he only has 21 behind. He can never fold here. And Johan, with the absolute nuts with Broadway here, I don't know. He's definitely just doing a timing tell here, trying to make himself look a little weak. And that is no surprise.
Yeah,
He may even get a penalty if he just called. And a snap call by Kristaps. It showers for Kristaps. A little bit short of the money. Sorry to those watching from Latvia. But he did run a short stack up and then ran it back down again. Meanwhile, Johan, the 2020 Kings of Tallinn winner, the day 2 chip leader, or the day 1 chip leader, he entered day 2 with the chip lead, now has 259,000 in chips. That's quite a stack at this stage of the game. It's nearly 100 big blinds.
Jussi is definitely not the most boring player we
No.
could have here.
I wouldn't mind seeing Faris back. He's still in the event.
Who?
Faris Abid
Okay, yeah.
from Finland, I believe. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but that's what I call him, and he always responds to me, Faris.
Feras Abid.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, joo, Fefe.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, sorry. yeah, Feras Abid, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jack 7, Bart, who's been very quiet, maybe picking the wrong time to get active, but when it folds you on the button, you have 2 suited cards that have a lot of possibilities. It's an okay open, but now with Yuka, who's also been quiet 3-betting, you have a decision to make. He's in position. He makes the call. Spade out the window. Ooh, and a jack out of the window, and a potential draw for Jukka-Pekka to Broadway
cool.
if a king hits. But Jukka-Pekka still has 2 overcards as well. And it's Jukka leading out here for 11,000. If Bart is calling there pre-flop, he's certainly not going anywhere with top pair. It's a question of whether he's going to call or raise, and just opts to call and see what happens on the turn.
Mm-hmm.
6 of diamonds may not change much, but it may get Bart thinking a little bit more that he has kicker issues, but I doubt that at this point. You know, it's Yuka should be continuing with everything, and even a second continue on the turn, you could do that with things like hands like ace-queen and king-queen. You'll also be doing that with hands like jack-queen, jack-king, and jack-ace, though.
Yeah.
And not as very often with your 10s. But Bart happy enough to call with his top pair. Well, it's not top pair anymore, but with 2 pair. Oh my, Jukka-Pekka gets it on the river. Better 2 pair. It looks like it went quickly, check, check.
I was amazed that like the action at river was that quick though. Like, well, haven't seen anything good for a long time. I would have done the same, but I definitely understand him thinking a few seconds before
But now
folding.
blinds have gone up to 2-4, and his 9 big blinds is now all of a sudden 7 big blinds.
Okay, now we have a hand. Go team.
Is that a full 10 he raised to, or did he announce something different? A full 10. Maybe we can hear if they're talking on the table. Yesterday, Ferris was talking all the time, but maybe now that he's not running people over, he's just waiting. But we have Johan here with the ace-queen. And I don't expect much table chatter between Johan and Aki, so I'm going to turn the volume on the table back down. But if we do see them chattering away, we'll try to get a listen in. Well, Johan is typically a quiet player. He's like all smiles and fun.
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
see
yeah.
him,
He's
but
having great time.
he's
Yes,
also
definitely.
paying attention to all aspects of what's going on. Aki has a backdoor flush draw. Otherwise, the hands are the same between the two. But Aki with, I mean, it was an under the gun raise. Ace Queen is near the bottom of his range. Ace Queen suited a little bit better for under the gun at this point, especially when Johan's in the big blind. And Johan is going to be sticky. He's going to say, you know what, Aki, you may have some things, or I'm going to try to steal it from you later.
He raised.
This is tough for Aki now. Aki can't continue. So well done again by Johan.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Apparently, Johan is known as Unknown Pure.
Unknown Pure.
And who am I? COVID wants me to call.
Oh my
him there.
gosh!
Aki,
I really
Aki
love the
called.
call from Aki.
Not buying into the big stacks check raise. And it's going to be interesting because that turn shouldn't have changed anything for either player. Although Johan maybe was repping like a 7 somehow, but because he's in the big blind. But Aki doesn't have any 7s. He's not even playing ace-7 suited here. He would only have pocket 7s in his range. And that's very unlikely because there's only one combination of that left. And Aki showing some aggression. And Johan
Woohoo!
gives up on the pot. Aki steals one away. They would have chopped the pot if it went to showdown.
Yeah, what a nice call on flop from him. Like, he might have had like a light read. I will ask him later on, like what he was thinking. But that was really nice.
I can't see what's going on there. As Emmy will tell you, there's a big wall in front of me. People, I'm kind of on the stage, like I'm not hiding, but I can't hear or see anything. Good afternoon, everybody. It is great to be back for the final day of the Tallinn Summer Showdown 1100 Euro main event. There were 24 players to start the day. We're not too far along into the day, and there are 18 players remaining. Now, just so you know the plan for the day, the plan is that it will play down to the winner, obviously because it is the final day. It says day 2 on the screen, but it is indeed the final day, where one player will win the trophy and also the tasty 56,500 euro prize. There will be a short break for a redraw whenever we're down to 16 players. That could happen soon, or it could happen an hour or two from now, as we saw yesterday with that hour-and-a-half long bubble. But with me right now is a friend of mine. He was on the feature table earlier yesterday, plays thousands, tens of thousands of hands of poker a month. Tarmo Tamo, welcome, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, everybody. What's going on?
And you played with some of these players, I'm sure. I don't remember you being on the table with them yesterday, but I'm sure over the years you've played at least with Ane,
Yeah.
with Oit,
Yeah.
and
I actually I recognize the other two. I think they're both Belgians, right?
Yes.
De Mulder and who's the guy on
Matthias
seat
de
6?
Mulder, and in seat 6, I believe is Maxime
Yeah,
Maxime
Maxime
Beavers.
Beavers. Yeah, I had a couple of. I was in the same table with Maxime yesterday. So
It's amazing. This is the first time I remember the Belgian Crushers coming out to Tallinn for an event.
yeah,
and
they actually. I spoke to them. They picked it up from Hendon Mob, so it's a good
look at that.
advertising. There's not many live events, obviously, across Europe, so it's probably the only place where you can go to right now, where all the borders are open and you can play decent poker without, I don't know, having a mask on and having such restrictions that they might do in some places, you know.
And I see we're going to be challenged right away with the couple of Polish players on the table. We